The pups were heading back from a failed mission. A very failed mission. All 6 vehicles were swerving, each pup unable to focus on the road. No one in Adventure Bay would be able to ponder what had just happened. Marshall was bringing in the sad news in back of the AMT converted truck. Chase was leading the escort, then Marshall and the other pups trailed behind. They were at a slow pace, which really signaled in depression. Everyone in Adventure Bay knew something was wrong when one of the pups stopped to say hi. They all knew something was worse when they all realized that all 6 pups were deployed, but Ryder wasn't leading on his ATV. Ryder wasn't there at all. All 6 vehicles had pulled up to the lookout in silence. Marshall gradually got out of his truck and opened up the doors to the back of the ambulance. "I can't handle the sight," Sky said. This can't be," Chase said. In the back of Marshall's ambulance sat Ryder's body, motionless, lifeless. The pups weren't going to be able to survive or live without him. None of them wanted to. Marshall put a paw on Ryder's face. There was nobody the heat coming or being generated. It was inventable. All the pups collapsed and broke down. "I always thought he was immortal," Zuma moaned. "It's not right. He didn't deserve this. Why couldn't it have been me?" Ryder had fell to his death. None of the pups could have done anything to help save him. The pups worked together to pull Ryder's body out of the ambulance. Once they laid him down, they all gathered around his body to mourn and mourn. They all knew their lives were intimately going to end with his. Hours passed, and each pup had fallen asleep from exhaustion, from crying too much. It was all the morning that they had woken up again to Ryder's body. They mourned for an hour longer, then figured that they had to go show Adventure Bay what happened. They all worked together to put Ryder's body back into the ambulance, then form a formation to go into Adventure Bay, as a sign of respect. Chase led Marshall, who had Rocky and Rubble on each side, tailed by Zuma and Sky. They each had their emergency lights on. However, were going slow. The people of Adventure Bay saw this, and not seeing Ryder, they all knew something was seriously wrong. Katie knew that something was wrong and followed the pups, who came to a stop in front of the town hall. Mayor Goodway came out of the building, unaware of what was going on. "Hey, Paw Patrol, why are you all so sad?" Marshall opened up the rear doors on the ambulance and showed that her and Katie Ryder's body. They were all both in complete shock. Mayor Goodway's good day turned around. There were a few citizens who to witness, then they all turned to a bunch, and then a bunch turned to everyone in Adventure Bay, gathered around to see Ryder deceased with their own eyes. He fell to his death," Chase said. "There was nothing we could have done," Rocky said. Captain Turboat, having to have a good day, also pulled onto the dock to see everyone gathered around Hall. From the distance, it looked like a party. "Adventure Bay having a party without me? This town will no longer be Turboat-less." Captain Tubot docked the boat and hurried over. "Adventure Bay can't have a party without Captain Towboat." A lot of people thought Captain Towboat was being disrespectful, but the pups knew that he had no clue on what was going on. "Captain Towboat, it's not what you think," Zuma said. Captain Towbot began to start to realize that something was really wrong. Zuma escorted him to the ambulance. Captain Towbot realized that the opposite of the party, he had no idea how to react when he saw Ryder's body. His good day was also turned bad. A day passed, and Ryder's funeral was arranged. Marshall pulled up the casket with Ryder's body in the back of the ambulance. The funeral formation pulled up to the cemetery, and the pups got out and got in to the lookout formation, while Jake and Captain Towboat pulled the casket out of the ambulance. The pups tried to hold in their tears as well as they could as the ceremony was going on. Sky couldn't hold it in. She broke down and Rocky was there to comfort her. Sky was caused Marshall, Rubble, and Zuma to break down as well. Chase was also used to holding back tears, so he was able to stay in formation. With the assistance from Mr. Porter and Mayor Goodway, along with Alex and Katie earning a place, all of carried the rider's casket to the grave. The pups got into formation so they would be when they were in the Paw Patroller. Zuma, Rubble, and Sky on one side, Rocky, Chase, and Marshall on the other. When everyone sat down, one expected Mayor Humdinger to show up. Everyone looked back when they saw and they walked in. I heard that the boy died. I just thought I'd come by to pay my respects. This service for Ryder lasted for a long time. Everyone wanted to pay their respects and have stories of when the Paw Patrol rescued them. Mayor Humdinger even came, but no one had respect for him. As most of you may know, I am a big rival to Adventure Bay and the Paw Patrol. There's been many times where I've been frustrated from the Paw Patrol ruining my plans. There was some burning hate, but I would never have wished this on the poor boy. Since I never got to say this to you personally, kid, all I want to say is sorry for what I have done. Rest well, Ryder. Mayor Humdinger sat back down in the back. Time to lower Ryder into the ground came. Each pup sat up in readjustment. Not only even Chase could hold back the tears that were lowering him. The service ended, and everyone but the 6 pups left the grave. Before dirt was filled in, each pup set their tags on top of Ryder's casket. They began to spend that night next to the grave. The next morning, Mayor Goodway had to bring the news to the pups. I'm afraid, without the supervision of Ryder, you can't stay at the lookout on your own. Please, Mayor Goodway, let us stay. We won't cause trouble. If it was up to me, you could, but the law says you have to go to a foster home. No, don't make us go. I don't have a choice. I want you to stay. Mayor Goodway walked the pups to who would be taking care of him. This is Joey. He loves dogs and he'll take good care of you. The pups all looked at Joey. He looked nice. This is my part of the hardest job. I never want to take a couple of pups away from their home. I don't have a choice though. From the bottom of my heart, I will take good care of you pups until you're old enough to be on your own and come back. None of the pups wanted to go. They were given the opportunity to go to the lookout and grab what they wanted. They were promised that the lookout of all their trucks would be there. None of the pups wanted to live without their rider. However, each pup packed into Joey's Suburban, and they were off to a larger city about an hour away. Zuma and Sky were sitting on the third road. Chase was up front, and Rocky and Marshall and Rubble were in the middle. Under the seat, Sky found a dagger. Zuma? Yeah, Sky? I found the way out. Zuma then took the dagger that Sky was holding. Don't do it. I don't want to live on. I can't live on. None of us do, but don't take this the easy way out. Sky hugged Zuma. You've been a good friend. If you want, you can join me. Sky? Sky had her paw on Zuma's and then jerked the dagger into her heart. She expected the pain, but wasn't expecting it to be so bad. She squeezed Zuma's paw within whatever might had. It eventually faded. Zuma realized that she was gone just like Ryder. He wasn't going to be able to handle it. He took the dagger and it ended his own life as well. No one else in the Suburban was aware of what was going on. It took until they found that their new home to realize it. Here we are, pups. You're temporarily home. It won't bring Ryder back, Chase said. If I had the power to, I would. Marshall then lowered the seats so Zuma and Sky gets out, but he only saw what happened at the corner of his eye. It took him a minute to process what happened. Wait, what? Marshall then looked up to see Zuma and Sky had joined Ryder. Pups! Someone help! The pups and Joey all rushed over to see what happened. The pups dropped and mourned to 2 more losses. Joey had no idea what to do. A few days later, Zuma and Sky were also lowered next to Ryder. Chase was the next one to go. He couldn't eat and died from insignificant nutrients and dehydration. Rubble was the opposite and overweight. He quite literally ate 24 hours a day for 7 days. He ate so much that his heart gave out. Rocky and Marshall, however, looked like they could survive and live on. This was, of course, Marshall had gotten killed by a drunk driver. Without Marshall, Rocky had no motivation. He outlasted Marshall by quite a bit. His future looked bright. However, he was sick of the constant and uncurable depression. He broke into a neighbor's house and stole a shotgun and tried to kill himself. That was failed because he forgot to grab ammo, so he drank 3 times of bleach. It became all known to Canada and US that the Paw Patrol died off. Fox News reports played throughout both countries, saddening millions of people.